Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today's pre-market will keep it short. I think not a lot of people are online, and it's New Year's last week. Christmas holidays, December 29th, and it's a good thing in a way because there's not much going on in the markets today. The volatility is low, right? Based on these gamma levels that I have for SPX right here, as you guys can see, the numbers are really tight. All right, right now currently we're trading near 47.86, and I believe futures are just holding break even. There's nothing going on. Okay, so we're pretty much break even. All right, and the only thing I can see for the day is maybe some spy scalps if I do them. Right, I'll be live on voice chat. I'll try giving out a trade or two, whatever I can. Right, but in this market, as you guys can see, any active trader or any good traders, is wise to just save your cash and not try to predict the move. All right, because the whales are gone, on their holidays, like we said, and there's not much volatility to be expected. There's one thing that we're looking forward to the end of the year, which is the JPM collar strategy. Now, some of you guys, I know, watched it. You guys watched the video, right? The one that was posted by Spot Gamma, and I hope it made sense to you. But based on that, we're likely going to experience more volatility into Friday, likely to the upside. Now, I could be wrong. It could be to the downside. If they change things up, no one knows how they're going to do it, right? If market was so easy to predict, then, I'd be making a lot of money. But so as of now, the volatility is likely to go higher based on that strategy, and we'll know with the gamma levels. I believe by tomorrow morning we'll have a better idea, and then Friday morning we'll have a better idea. For the week of January, the reason I'm going over these things beforehand, so you guys are prepared, so you guys know it. In the first week of Jan, there will be more volatility than this week based on the levels. All right, it could be to the upside or downside. I have no idea, but it's a great week to play straddles and strangles. All right, I think I might take some straddles and strangles on SPY, maybe 10 points out or 7 points out, and one of them will for sure. Well, I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure they will more than double. All right, and that leaves us profits to the upside or downside. So when there's extreme volatility, straddles and strangles are in play. But for today, we have 4,800 as a base level. We're currently near 47.86, so around here, 47.97, 47.75. These can all act as support and resistance. If we're below, then obviously the next number is support. If we're above, if you're trading at 47.75, then obviously 97 is resistance, and it's just gonna stall at these points. If we get a trend all day to one side, then 4800, 4811, 4821, 4845. But again, a very tight range I'm expecting, all right, based on the levels. Tech, same thing, right? A little bit, it may be a little bit more volatile. There's a 15-minute chart, by the way. I'll just go on the daily, right? And yesterday in the pre-market, we did also mention again that there's not much to do in the market, right? Unless you just want to bang your head against the wall and buy some calls and puts, right? That's the reason I gave strategies yesterday that, these are the plays that you can look into. And if you bought calls alone, or even if you bought puts alone, and you did not exit within the first 15-20 minutes, for the rest of the day, calls and puts both went down. Why pay so much for that money for those things, right? Qs on the daily, we're near the top. It's probably going to flag here today. I think it's just going to be in a tight range somewhere like this. And if we get a bullish sentiment, and then Thursday and Friday, we might take out all-time highs. And obviously, depending on how what we get for tomorrow and Friday, it can come down as well. So open to both sides. But as of now, the prediction that we have based on gamma is likely to the upside. Okay. IWM, same thing, is stuck in this range. There's no reason to force anything here. Let it base out here. The longer it bases out here, the calls and puts will get cheaper for the time coming up, right? And then we'll know if it's going to go down or up. All right. And so let it base here. Let's see what happens. Financials, same thing. It's just trying to hold. They're just grinding sideways. They're not doing much. It's stuck in this absolute chop zone where you can predict all you want. You can draw all the trend lines you want here. You can do anything that you want. It's very hard to predict what the market's going to do when the stock, things get stuck like this. The only good thing we can do is go on the weekly and see what's happening in the overall action. Not much. A nice little breakout here. It's holding here. Now, does it go up or does it fail? Right? It's very hard to predict. But based on the MACD, everything, the way it's diverging, I think we might have a move higher on financials. But again, a 40 level is a must hold on this. $40.50. I remember my level. So above 40 hold is must, and then maybe we can see a move to the upside. One stock I really like is Starbucks. Keep an eye on Starbucks, guy. Sometime back, we spoke about McDonald's, right? This is something that's in long-term equity for me. But we spoke about McDonald's at these levels, right, with the inflation, with the price going up, and had a nice little grind move up. These stocks, even if you buy a small equity or whatnot, these stocks like this save your account, right? You still have cash in your account. It acts as a balance. And a very good pattern that we saw here, this pattern, just know this for future purposes. When we have this, something like this, right, a pattern like this, ignore these candles, these were the pandemic. And you guys have this inverse head and shoulder where this shoulder is higher than the other shoulder, all right? When the shoulder on the right, so I'm going to talk about the inverse head and shoulders, how to read it, all right? When the right shoulder, so if it's an inverse head and shoulders, when the right shoulder is higher than the left, that shows strength and likely to work out. If the shoulder on the right is lower than the left, then that's not a proper inverse head and shoulders, all right? Because we want more strength here, all right? So first they will settle the price here. Sellers try pushing it down, buyers bring it back up, back to the resistance. The seller said, no, we're gonna take the price down. Then the buyer's like, fuck you, I'm sorry, screw you, we're gonna keep the price higher than here. Sellers eventually have to give up here, and then the stock goes higher. All right, and apologies for the swearing word, guys. So Starbucks, something similar here, right? If you guys can spot the differences here, we do have a similar head and shoulder pattern here, obviously, but here it says basing above, and if we can take out this 117, 118 level, and we can probably likely go much higher on Starbucks, all right? We likely see much higher in the coming weeks, and the MACD is also setting, but 115 will be a must hold level. So keep an eye on this name, long-term equity. I'm not talking about, if you want to play options, go 2024, because if it fails, at least you save some value. And if the stock breaks out about 215, this can see 125, 130, 140 in the coming weeks, all right? One name that you want to keep an eye on it. And LRCX, just waiting for a setup for a weekly lotto. And I'm very happy. The butterflies that never got filled yesterday, I did not chase. There was zero reason to chase, right? We don't chase, remember. And let it settle. Maybe today they settle again, and then tomorrow, or by the end of the day, we might have some lotto plays on this going into Friday. All right, because tomorrow can also stocks can run tomorrow as well. So LRCX, I'm definitely keeping an eye on. If I can just hold here on the right, and then if I can get the 730 calls for about $1 on a hold above 720, it might be worth a shot for the lotto going into Friday. So let's see how this one sets up. Amazon, we bought some butterflies yesterday, right? If we do get the 3,500 pin this week, which is not a big thing for Amazon, when it moves, it will move, right? And I think Yash said Amazon coming down hard. I don't know by how much. But anyways, Boogie was Amazon pre-market. But on this, it's a very clear number that we have is 3450. How much? 34. Okay, well, that's not bad. So 3450 is a must. If we can get above 3450, Amazon will pick up some steam. But until 3450, I don't know what it's going to do here. We can draw these trend lines, feel good about this breakout. We can spot pattern. But that's just making yourself feel good based on the position that you have, right? So 3450 is must. Yesterday we scalped, we sat all day, we got the little scalp and we're out. I did not hold overnight because I had zero reason to do so. They're not releasing the news. When they release the news, as the stock runs, we'll catch it here at the top, that's fine, as long as we make money on our options. Pfizer on the daily also, it failed this. So let's see if we can get 59 plus hold. Not until it gets 59 plus hold, the stock is not in play, then we have more downside. Or support level, if it gets to 52, 51, then we might see something higher. But so far holding these the support level above 57, so 59 plus, we can probably get much higher on Pfizer. But this also might be another Friday candidate for me. And Netflix, Preston, for you, you asked. Now on the daily, Netflix ran a lot. It did well, right? It did great. It reminds me something of LRCX. So if I open LRCX on the side, I'm going to show you something. Now obviously both in different industries, but I'm just going to go with technicals, right? Nothing else. So if I go on the daily on LRCX, the stock broke out, right? The stock broke out, okay? The stock broke out sometime back in November, all-time high, then it came back to retest and then it squeezed again, all right? So on Netflix, something similar might be in play, all right? Something similar might be in play when I look at this chart. It's a retest, right? Because it never really got the proper retest once it broke out. I mean, we had a little bit here, but it's just a retest here. If we can continue holding above these levels and we can take out the 617, 618 level, right? So around 618 plus, we will probably see higher on this name. And the way Omicron, this virus name is spreading, and a lot of things is getting pretty popular now. But again, the comments are mixed from all over that there's going to be closures, there won't be closures, everything is back to normal. Like it's very confusing with what's happening. To me, none of this shit's real. I don't know what's going on with these things. So just play the price levels and let's see what they give us, right? Because they completely killed stocks like Zoom, right? If these things were real, I mean, this stock should have been up at least, right? Yes, I understand from P to E ratio is trading at a high level, but again, they should have kept these stocks. They should have seen a bounce if the COVID thing was real, the closures were real. So, but again, they have earnings coming up in some months, and then we'll see how it performs. Piton, they completely killed this stock, right, from 171 to 35. How sad. And I will tell you guys one thing right now. Many of you guys buy stocks, right? Listen to this very carefully. Many of you guys buy stocks based on oh, the stock's down from 171.35. Sometimes I also look at stocks like this, but valuable companies that hold value. This stock is, when it was trading at 170, fundamentally it wasn't even worth 10 bucks. Why are we going to pay so much for this money? A company that's worth fundamentally like a good level, those are the companies that you catch the dips on. On companies like this, these are meant to, from 170 to 35, this is insane. This policy is much lower. Don't try to catch this, it will screw you up. Don't forget Tilray. It went to 300, all right, and now it's trading at 7 bucks, all right. They gave a nice little spike. Now these stocks, we can try catching all the bottoms you want in equity, unless you're sure of some catalyst, some fundamental, you have the patience to hold it. That's a different story. But if you're just buying based on certain things and their numbers don't support, then these stocks are gonna go much lower. Now, stock like Tilray from 728, if it goes to 10, that's a 30% equity play, right? A big cap might not give you as fast as Tilray would, but at the same time, this will take away the same percentage as fast, much faster than a big stock, right? So just know these things. Another stock, for example, SCC Limited is a great stock, a very good stock, right? Now I do understand some people will be buying it just because of the policy sentiment or whatever it may be. It's a great stock. They have this, but make sure that your research is not just this support, right? If you're buying these long-term equities, make sure your research is not just this support. Now this is a major support. Technically, it's fine to play options for a 1-2 day trade or maybe a 3-day trade, right? But don't be buying these long-term equities based on these major supports, because this can easily see 156 even all the way towards 119. It's possible, and many people will get mad if I say this about SC, right? It's a great company, I love it, but just know these things. Unless you have dug a lot into fundamentally, then this probably goes higher. This is the number one dip, other than PayPal and Square. SC, these three dips that I like for long term that have solid potential moving forward. All right, but be careful with what you buy. Facebook also, we had a nice move yesterday, but then they sold off, right? And I think the butterflies on this, the ranges that I gave yesterday, 345, 350, 355, can work great on this name, right? As long as we just hold. But today, if we get a reversal, I think we might get a dip towards 340. If the market is weak, we might even fill this gap near 335 today or tomorrow. It's very possible. Know the downside levels. If we do fill the gap to 335 and then we take out 340 again, then this might be back in play to the upside. All right. So let's see how, like here, there's no direction. It can go up or down. You can probably try playing a straddle strangle 2 weeks out with 15 points out. One of them will probably more than double if the stock makes a more than a $10 move to one side, right? And you can make money on that. Yash said Q's kind of want to drop down for multiple T. Yeah. Yash, right now until year end, let's see. I think they're gonna want to close the year strong based on the action, but obviously anything is possible. On December 31st, depending on the market or based on what I see, I might buy 2-3 months out puts on some indices, SPY and Qs, like 30-40 points down, right? If we do get the volatility down, like I'll play that as a hedge into Jan. If we do get even a $5-10 point move down, those will more than double, right? So that's something that I will definitely hedge myself with. And apart from that, Google, another name which acted well yesterday, but then near the tops, we had all these sells, right? We had all these sells. Same with Microsoft, near the top, all these, and there's nothing wrong with this. After such big moves, they're just consolidating here. Now we want to see how they hold. But the question is, now yesterday we told you there will be less volatility. Today also there may be less volatility. Like it's going to be a quiet day. It's going to be boring as hell, right? And we're not just going to force trades for the heck of it. There's no point. On voice chat, if I see a scalp, I'll do it, right? If we see scalps, we'll definitely do it, obviously. At the end of the day, we are traders. We have to look for some trades. But some days are just quiet days. And Gamma clearly states it's a quiet day. Don't even force anything, right? But Thursday and Friday, we do have action in the markets for volatility. Let's see how they play out. Thank you so much, guys. We'll keep it short on 9:15. Read the gamma report if you haven't. Let's see what. And follow the levels, and you can scalp SPX all day on those levels, and they're very accurate. Trust me. See you guys back in the chat.